Welcome to Tuesday, the 9th day of the Whiskey Advent Calendar. Hello, all. Nathan, good to see you. Justin, Craig, is that pronounced Scunthorpe? Because I love that. Indianapolis. Deanston 20. Jeff, Deanston 20. You're starting with Deanston 20? Where do you go from there? Okay. Setting my phone and keys and crap down because I literally was downstairs and I was reading and my alarm didn't go off for this live stream. And all of a sudden I was like, oh crap. And I looked down at my phone and it was 2:56. But I'd already gotten all of this set up. So I came like booking it up the stairs, unlocked the vault door, grabbed a glass, got to my laptop, 2:59. Oh man, I'm living it risky, but we're about to be on 9 of 20. That makes 3, a third of the way through ish. Okay, let's start with Flaviar. I'm doing this all wrong. Not looking. I brought the passport, but I left it on my desk because I forgot what time it was. So I don't have that. Oh, Ronnie, good to see you. I can't read it. It is, mate. Named after one of the Vikings. All right. That makes sense. Okay. Glass. Good evening, Netherlands. And pouring. Flaviar. Who knows what we'll be drinking next. So far, it's all American, which makes sense, I guess. Setting it over here. Not that I can't read, it's only a QR code. What are we smelling today, vultures? Oh, Vikings said the same thing. Ooh, Tom Navulin. Port cask. You make good life choices. I like the Glencairn, but at the house, I have these glasses that are like almost identical tulip, a little bit more thin, and they have a stem. And I gotta say, I like holding those a lot too. The stem makes me feel fancy. Try to take over the world. All right, so we definitely have another. It feels like it's just another bourbon, like a Kentucky bourbon. It's got that dusty corn, cherry. There's something else going on though. And it's green, like dense and like a organic, like vegetable sweetness. Greetings from the Ukraine. A Copita glass. Yes, it is a Copita glass. Safety first, Max. Be safe. Unpeated Legic? Wait, unpeated Legic, isn't that just Tobermory? Or is there a part of the Legic line? I thought Tobermory Distillery, Legic was peated and Tobermory was the unpeated part. Am I wrong about that? Oh, you know what? You're right. One was a Japanese rice something or other. I totally forgot about that. Actually, maybe blocked it out is a better word for it. But yeah. Thank you. Boombox Bandit. That's a great name. When I have a video of my youngest when he was like, my oldest was going to be in junior high, so I would put him in 3rd grade. He's like, I know how to be cool in junior high. I can give you advice, Jackson. And I was like, oh, really? And he was like, yeah. So here's what you got to do is you got to get a baseball cap and you put it on backwards, and you have to get a boom box, and then you have to get bubble gum. And then you play your boom box, and you like chew your bubble gum and dance around in a big group of people. And that's how you be cool in junior high. And we were like, oh, I mean, good luck with that. Just popped in my head from Boombox Bandit. That's funny. What's the rarest whiskey I've ever tried? Rarest, not most expensive, but the rarest whiskey, I think, by definition of like the odds of anyone ever getting to try this thing, maybe ever. And I'm not going to count samples because, like, here's a barrel sample from this distillery and it's 100 years old, or you know what I mean? Like, I've had samples from barrels that are absolutely insane. But if I was counting like a finished product, bottled, done, at some point went to retail, I think there's been some really like historic bottles that Nathan Huey let me try that are probably up there on the list of like the rarest whiskey I've ever sampled. And I couldn't put a finger on which one, but it's going to be some sort of a vintage bottling, a vintage release. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ninth day of Christmas. Thank you, Stephen. On the ninth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me something dancing. I really need to do the research for this. So I have actually in my house a full display of like all the 12 Days of Christmas icons that my mom gave me for decoration. I really need to learn these. All the good schwamples. 1920s blender's glass. Oh, yeah. Bowling pin. Who was that? Justin. Bowling pin. I do have bowling pin. Rarest, maybe not. Okay, I'm stalling because all I smell is, I feel like basic bourbon, but with a little bit of a green vegetal note to it. Either that makes it wide cut craft or there's some sort of finishing going on. There's a lot of women in the 12 Days of Christmas being forced to do something and then given to somebody. Did you not find that problematic? We got a bunch of maids milking. You can have them. We got some ladies dancing. You can have them. What are we in Solomon's Court? There's a reference for you. 5 golden rings, but I'm only marrying 5 of them. You think this is Knob Creek? I don't think it's Knob Creek. Let's see. No. There's something else going on in here, though. There is a green. This is a bourbon, I think. But it's a green something other going on that's not normal for a classic bourbon for me. Let's look it up. I left the passport. We're going to scan the QR code. Here we go. It's 308, and we are... Oh, what could be adding the vegetal note from a distilling brewing point of view? If it wasn't finishing, there are certain... You can create some weird flavors during fermentation that can lead to these weird grassy, even like bell pepper notes. It's not good. And then there's cuts. All those off flavors, not all, most of them tend to live in the lower end of the distillation, down in the tails. And if you cut real wide, you can capture some of those. And it can be good to a point where it adds meat and flavor and depth to a whiskey, but you got to be able to age it out and let it all complex and oxidize and change. So that's where. And I didn't even scan this thing. It's not letting me click the open in Chrome button. There it is. It was just locked up. Oh. Mary Dowling. Tequila barrel finished bourbon. There's your vegetal note. Agave. Agave spirit. Let's see. What do we know about this? What the heck is Mary Dowling Tequila? She was born to Irish immigrants in Kentucky, married John Dowling, owner of Waterfill and Fraser Distillery. When he passed away, she took over. When the fire destroyed it, she rebuilt it. When Prohibition came, she went to Mexico and kept the whiskey going. High rye Kentucky bourbon, finished in tequila barrels. Man, we're only supposed to do the oldest whiskey I have is I had a 50-year-old grain whiskey in here from that boutique whiskey company. That's probably the oldest one I had. It's gone now. And it wasn't that great. The tequila Deanston was a weird one. Let me say, I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking, this is going to kick off a rant in me. And I don't know if we have time for a rant, but I'm so fed up with stupid backstories that are not your backstory. They're just a backstory. Daniel Lisa. Mary Dowling. Who the hell made this? Mary Dowling whiskey. Oh, Rabbit Hole partnering with, the partnership with the owner of Rabbit Hole, Zamanian, and their Mary Dowling. Yeah. Fucking bullshit. I mean, it's fine. Maybe they're getting their bourbon from Rabbit Hole. The bourbon's good. It's fine. It's not remarkable. The agave tequila impact is so mild that it's turning into like a craft low-cut vegetal bourbon instead of like bourbon with some sort of agave accent. I'm a little punchy today, I feel like. I am so sick of someone going, I want to release a whiskey. Instead of talking about what makes it good and why they wanted to do it, they go, let's search the world for an interesting story. And then we'll tell it. And then at the end, we'll go, and so whiskey. And that's how you create a brand with story. You find a good story, you tell it, and then at the end you go, and because of that good story, whiskey. Bullshit. Unless the story is your story, it's bullshit. And I'm sick of it. If the story was your story, I'm all in. If you're like, here's a crazy story about a whiskey pioneer who did this crazy thing, and that was my grandmother, and I'm making the whiskey in her like trying to get as close to as possible as what she was doing. Sure, I'm all in. But when you're like, here's a cool person, did a cool thing, so whiskey, right? Am I right? That's a cop-out. And we teach storytelling at the Wizard Academy in the Whiskey Psalm School, and we have an exercise where you have to do a public speaking portion, and we give you a subject, and the cop-out, you get docked if you simply tell a fun story and everyone laughs, and then you go, oh, and also barley. That's a cop-out. That's cheap storytelling. I'm sorry. I feel okay, and this comes up, and this is a good thing to bring up. Fawn Weaver, Nathan Huey, Fawn Weaver. This is real. There's a difference between searching for some bullshit backstory to try to sell your whiskey and trying to give a voice to voiceless. There's a difference, right? And maybe the Mary Dowling is falling into, we're trying to honor the history of this person who's been forgotten by history, and it's a woman in whiskey, whatever. But I just drank it the other day. It's Jackie's whiskey, and it was really interesting. And she is honoring the memory of a slave who basically figured out how to propagate vanilla. It's why the world knows how to propagate vanilla. And I think that's a really cool thing. I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to make this whiskey in honor of them. But you need to say, we're doing it. I don't know. There's ways to do it. And there's ways to do it well. And I think it's fair to say, we want to use a whiskey brand to tell this famous whiskey person's story. But that's not what I'm experiencing most of the time. Most of the time what I'm experiencing is, we want to make whiskey for a living. We want to sell a whiskey. Let's go find some cool backstory, attach ourselves to its coattails, and then be like, and so buy ours. So there is a difference. And I promise you, you know it when you see, oh, here it is. This is the other one. This is real. And it is a random story. It's Edmund's honor, right? And Jackie did this one, and she went and searched and really developed the entire story. But the thing is, over and over and over, she's saying, here's his story. Here's his story. I wanted to tell his story. Here's why it matters. Here's why the story matters. And here's a whiskey that I think honors everything about him and his story, because she works in whiskey. That, I think, is fair. Oh, not Jackie. I say Jackie. Tracy. I was just talking to someone named Jackie for the last hour. Tracy Franklin is the one who did Edmund's honor. And it's really interesting. And I reviewed it on the channel, and you're going to see that in December at some point. Anyway, I think it's a cop-out, because I think right now, man, we're already 3:16. I haven't even gotten a good whiskey yet. Right now, I'm really sick of everybody and their dog going, you just need to tell stories. Stories are what matter. You just need to tell stories. And that's, I realized the other day, my frustration with that is, no, stories are a method. And yes, humans are attracted to stories, but it just doesn't mean tell a good story, your problem is solved. The story has to be a story that matters and connects us to something that matters and reminds us of things that matter and what we love and why you love it. It's not just tell a funny story, sell a whiskey. That's not how it works. I mean, I made a story up and it was completely fictional. We told everybody, this is just a funny story, but here's some cool whiskey. But we never tried to make it anything but that. Here's a cool story. You want the next chapter, you got to buy the next bottle. Anyway, I think a lot of brands fizzle out on a, I don't know about the tale of Triple X from Glenmorangie. I can't remember that one. Justin, was that the one where they had a whole bunch of bartenders work together to figure something out, and then that was a recipe? Because that was actually an interesting story. Like, that was real. If you're drinking with your dog, then you're living a good life. I can't taste the tequila. All I taste is a slightly more sweet than normal bourbon with a hint of vegetal note in it. Let's look at Master of Malt. So it's been a weird couple of days, guys. And I understand that I'm coming across punchy. I'm fully aware of it. And I'm sorry if that is off-putting. Day 9, not looking, not looking, not looking, not looking. Not looking. I'm going to have to pick that up later. Oh, I need a glass. Master of Malt, don't let me down. Okay. Behind the computer, so I can't see it. I'm going to have a hard time getting that bottle in a second. Here we go. Ooh. Scotch. I'm a little punchy at Flaviar, yeah, probably. Scotch, this is nice. That's just Scotch. This is it's very rich, very fruity, kind of musty, a little black peppery, slight zest, dense. I think this is older. This has got some density to it. Oh, Tale of a Forest, Tale of a Cake, Tale of a Tokyo. Yeah, I think if you want to go on that adventure, fine. I think it's as a creator, I'm not opposed to it. I've recorded albums with people with like, let's pick a theme for this album where each song explores a different thematic. And I could see how that would be fun as a blender to try to like, let's use the next release to tell a story all on its own. And I'm actually not mad about that. McGowan does some mediocre versions. The Glenmo one I think was really good. I think I get tired of like, it's one thing to listen to an album and hear a bunch of songs. It's another to be like the 9th whiskey in your specialty series of $200 bottles of whiskey. Like I just can't keep up with that story. It's too much money. What band would you describe the Master of Malt whiskey? It's a large public following, like mass produced. So it's more poppy, or at least more well known. Like I would consider Led Zeppelin to be someone a lot of people love. So this is something I think probably a lot of people know and a lot of people love. It's not rare, except maybe by age, but so it's a little older. I'm gonna say it's got a little more wisdom to it. It's a little more dense in its tones. Not enough funk for Peter Gabriel. What's weird, okay, so I think I've told you guys this before. When I smell whiskey, my brain first displays an EQ spectrum in my head. And then I have to translate, pause, and go looking for whiskey language and words and food and sensory descriptors. And so it's not Thin Lizzy, it's not Ollie. Oh, oily, is it Clynelish? It's not Clynelish. It's too citrusy for Clynelish. And it's not waxy enough. To me, oh, this is nice. Soft, warm, a little sparkly, a little low proof. Simple on the palate, nicer on the nose. I think this is a lower proof, older age statement, big release brand. It's feeling familiar. It reminds me of the tone structure of Mark Cohn, Walking in Memphis. All piano, all mids, all density. For what it's worth. Mortlock 16. That would be nice. I don't have Mortlock 16. The only Mortlock I have, I'm wandering off again. The only Mortlock I have, oh, I don't see it right now. I have a Mortlock, but it's not an age statement Mortlock. It's like one of their no age statement releases. Glengoyne, maybe. Easy like Sunday morning. Not Fettercairn. It's not fruity enough. Yeah, good call. No, it's not fruity enough. Not Dalwhinnie. But Glengoyne, maybe. I feel like there's a lot more vanilla in Glengoyne. And this one's thinner. More pepper zest. Ah, there it is. Second sip, a little pepper spike came back. I would have said this is in the Glenfiddich direction, except we just had Glenfiddich 18 yesterday. So now I don't know. So, yeah, Craig, I'll autograph something for the whiskey room, but what? Son of a bitch. Master of Malt, you tricky bastards. I'm just going to show you what that is. You sons of bitches. You know what yesterday was? It's Glenfiddich 18. And today, Glenfiddich 21. You punks. Whoever created that part of the calendar was chuckling to themselves as they did it. That's really funny. Good old Glenfiddich. What is Glenfiddich 21? Grand Reserva. Somebody Google that so I'm not just on my phone during the live stream, and tell us what's involved in the Glenlivet 21 Grand Reserva. And yeah. And Craig, I'll do this for you, but not everybody else in the comments. Email me, Daniel@wizardacademy.org, your mailing address. And I don't know, what could I'll look for something. I'm gonna find something to write with and or write on. Oh, rum cask Glenfiddich. Yeah, it is very sweet. And I poured the rest of it into the glass. It's getting sweeter and sweeter with every sip, but it still has a little bit of sparkle. Yeah, every sip, it gets more and more sweet. I don't know that I would call out, like, and I've experienced this with the big brand releases, that like a lot of times their finishes are really mild and you got to kind of go looking for it. Whereas on the craft guys, their finishes are dominating. And so like you'll get something and they're like, it's rum finished. And you're like, really? I mean, I'm sure it's there, but it's really hard to pinpoint. I prefer the 18 to the 21. The 18 yesterday was a superior whiskey. I like Glenfiddich 21, but the 18 was better. Let me grab something really quick. All right, no, I haven't died. I'm still here. Craig, email me. I have this coaster. Well, that didn't work. That's a dead marker. I have a coaster, and I'll reinforce this with a black marker. And my office used to be called the Toad and Ostrich Pub. This is before the whiskey school existed, and when the vault was later, when it did, the vault was in there. This is my office, and we would hang out here every Friday. Just students and anybody who wanted to come show up about 4 o'clock on Friday. We would just hang out in my office until everyone wanted to leave. And I had coasters made because it made me laugh. Cork coasters called the Toad. And the picture is the toad holding a picture of Picasso's ostrich drawing, because that made me laugh. And I signed the back of it. I'll send it to you in the mail, Craig. Daniel@wizardacademy.org. Send me your mailing address, because you asked. And then as I was doing that, I set down my Glenfiddich. So I'm going to shoot. Okay. That was the Flaviar that I had topped. And I'm looking for, I saw something earlier in honor of, there it is. Okay. In honor of Paul Nimmons, who's been showing up, I'm going to have a little Rocknar Rye, which I don't normally do as we end our tasting here. This is just their classic Rocknar Rye. Nothing like unique grain, just the Rocknar Rye. 3 out of 5 stars. Wouldn't change a thing. Funky. Shiny. Steven asked, and let me see if there's any questions that I missed. 18, you're gonna flood for autographs. I know. I know that's. I probably won't do it for everybody, but like that was a. Anyway, I know. I've heard you use the term shiny to describe what does it mean to you? Metallic, reflective. I know that's probably not helping. If it was icing instead of buttercream, or it would be that metallic fake icing, vanilla icing that has a tang, metallic tang to it. If it was a soda, it would be canned soda, where you can, an aspartame sweetness on a sugar-free, where you can taste the metal. It feels like shiny, metallic, reflective. A lot of times for me, it's how I pick out grain whiskey in a blended scotch. Yeah. Yeah, if you stick a penny or a dime in your mouth, which is a bad idea, but I've done it, it's that direction. Kilco's right. Oh, tomorrow's time. So tomorrow, I have a 2 p.m. thing and a 4. Okay, I'm going to do it a little bit earlier tomorrow. No, I'm going to do a little bit later tomorrow. But I have an orchestra thing in the afternoon. So I'm probably, let's say 3:30. This seems like a good time. We got a good head count, a lot of people, everyone's hanging out. Let's say instead of 3, 30 minutes later, 3:30 Central Time tomorrow afternoon. It'll be in between 2 meetings that I have, and then I can do this live stream. And then I'm going to go to my kids' orchestra concert tomorrow night. Brittle fake vanilla. Yep, absolutely. Any questions? We are past the 3:30 time. It's fine. The only thing I have next after this is I've got to go work. So you guys are keeping me from having to work hard real quick. Give me one good question and then we'll shut it down. Oh yeah, hit the like button. Yeah. I assume that impacts YouTube. I don't even know anymore. You guys may notice that like the whiskey conversations that I'm having with people, we're going to change all the titles to them because they're not kicking off like some of the other ones are. And so I honestly think like the conversations are good, I hope, but I think it really YouTube really loves catchy and evocative headlines. And then evidently like buttons, and I don't understand YouTube. I know, ironic, right? Jeff, catch on the flip side. Have I tried Tasmanian whiskeys? Yes, we have several Australian. Starward, speaking of Australian, love it. Several, and there is a Tasmanian whiskey in here. I just can't remember which one it is off the top of my head. But yes, I have tried several. They're doing a good job in Australia. Let's hope Flaviar is good tomorrow. Whiskey sommelier converses with distinguished guest. Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you, coming up, I got Roy Williams, the founder of this entire campus, to have a drink with me at the bar, and that's about several weeks away because we shoot way ahead. But that's one you're gonna want to watch. That was a fun one. Follow the subscribe likes of the algorithm machines. Exotic whiskey producing countries. I love Taiwan. They're doing Kavalan. Aren't they doing Omar? Isn't that also Taiwan? Like the government distillery? And anyway, that's a good one. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure. This rye whiskey is really good. When you watch this later, Paul, if you do, cheers to you. And I will see you tomorrow. Same time, add 30 minutes. 3:30 Central Time. Cheers to you. I'm glad you're here.